What's going on, B-Risers? Hope you're doing fabulous. Today we are talking about an elimination diet. So some people are reacting to every type of food out there, and I wanted to just give some of my tips on what has helped me, because back in the day I used to just eat anything and everything, and then I got really sick. And I had to, really clean up my life. So with an elimination diet, there's a sea of information out there on, take out this food, then take out this food, introduce it, see if you get a reaction from it, stay away from oxalates, stay away from lectins, or stay away from, this type of food or that. And it can get really confusing for people. So I feel like what I'm here to do is bring some balance to all the information out there. And there's a lot of it. So with so much information, it can cause so much confusion. So I always like to say, if you are just really stressed out with all this information, just take a deep breath and we'll try to figure this out. And I like to just try to keep things simple. And I'm going to try to keep this simple for you guys. I know that in dealing with people, I've dealt with people who have done elimination diets with naturopath doctors, and what they typically do is they put you on a specific diet with a certain amount of foods, and then they reintroduce these foods one at a time to see if your body's going to react to it. And so with all the information out there, with people reacting to all sorts of different types of foods, what has helped me is really just to stop what I was doing. I just stopped consuming all food, and I really just went on a short fast. And for me, that was grapes, because I never had any bad reactions with grapes. I also did a water fast. And if you don't have any medical issues, 1 to 3 day water fast is a great start to just, stopping ingesting all foods that may be irritating you. And what we're going to talk about today is some foods that I would for sure eliminate just to start, and just to get your body back on track. And we first need to look at cleansing the body, especially if you're coming off of the standard American diet, standard Canadian diet of, heavy junk food, processed foods. So I kind of want to ease you guys into this, and I'm talking to really the general population on how to get started. So for me, it was just to stop what I was doing, stop ingesting all foods, and really just focus on giving my digestive system a break. And for me, that was a great fast. I'm now doing a coconut water. Got some, this is on sale here. So I love coconut water, and I don't get any bad reactions from it. Now, what we want to look at is there are pros and cons to, we can look at pros and cons to all foods out there, right? So some are saying stay away from spinach because of the oxalates, stay away from beans because of the lectins. And I mean, we can look at pros and cons to every single food and pick it apart. But what I'm looking at is which foods have the most pros and which foods to stay away from that cause the most reactions in people that are very inflammatory. So those foods that I would say to eliminate is the cooked milks. So we're talking about dairy, cheeses, yogurts. For me, taking dairy out is a must, especially if you're wanting to heal the body from cysts, acne, allergies. taking out dairy is a must. Obviously, this is common sense to a lot of you guys out there, processed food, junk food, but I have to say it, if you're going after your health, taking out the processed and junk foods, you know, is a really, really good idea. And I know it can be hard in today's world because it's a fast-paced world, and sometimes, you know, a lot of the fast food chains are just what's closest to you. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, you know, we're going to be eliminating foods, but then we're going to be introducing a food that is going to replace some of these foods, and that's going to help you and really clean up your diet and lifestyle. So gluten also is a big one that has, you know, it's wreaking havoc on the intestinal tract, and taking that out, you know, is really helping people that I've been working with. Soy. For me, soy just does not respond well in my body. It really messed up my hormones. And so with my healing approach, taking out soy is a must. Some people, they are allergic to nuts. So you may have to take out nuts for this time period, as well as eggs. Now, I used to eat a lot of eggs, and then I did an elimination diet back in the day, and then I started introducing certain foods to see if I would get a reaction, and eggs would actually flare my eye up. And just like even some people, it's fish, you know, shellfish for some people can just bloat them up. So these are just foods that typically most people have allergies to, and everybody's going to be different in this aspect. So these are just, again, some of the foods that have the most inflammatory response for people. Processed meats. So processed meats contain a lot of preservative, nitrates. I would for sure take out the processed meats. You know, they're a known carcinogen now by the World Health Organization. So processed meats are for sure eliminated from the healing diet. Caffeine and alcohol. Now, I know I'm not the most popular person right now telling you to eliminate all these foods, but we're going to give you some foods that you can replace with it. So try to do the best you can. I know people love their coffee and their tea, but it really is overworking the adrenal glands, causing the release of cortisol, and just causing, you know, high anxiety in people. As well as alcohol, you know, it's really acidic on the body, really hard on the liver. So these are the foods to eliminate, you know, at this time, for this time period where you're going to work on cleansing your body. So the first thing is to eliminate all these foods, and I did a fast, just stopped eliminating all foods. And then the next thing is I have the 3 I's. So this is include, identify, and we're going to talk about intuition, which is the biggest component here that I want to really emphasize. So what I would say doing is starting a journal and keeping track of all the foods that you're eating, and identifying which ones that your body responds well to, and identifying which foods your body just doesn't respond well to. So keep a journal. That's going to really help you out. And foods that I find that really work well with people are fruits. So for me, grapes, I've done several detoxes with fruits. I've tried various different types of fruits. Now for some people, I've worked with people, some people react not so well with mangoes. So we're looking at, well, which foods irritate you, but we're also looking at detox symptoms, because you can definitely go through some detox symptoms when you're on an eliminative diet and just doing all fruits. So you're gonna have to keep a journal, and if you're getting, you know, if the food keeps irritating you, then stay away from it and go on a different type of fruit that responds well with your body. Follow your intuition. If a food is really irritating you, then just stay away from it for a while and just stick with another fruit that's gonna help you detox and cleanse. So the next thing is the veggies. I really love my veggies. I really love green juices. I love lots of big salads, leafy greens. And that's also what I want to tie into is looking at, you know, after we've done some cleanses, is we want to look at the 3 major important macronutrients, which is your carbs, which is, I primarily eat high carb because I'm eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. And we also want to look at protein or amino acids for building and repairing muscle, and some healthy fats. Those 3 macronutrients are really important for everyday biological processes and, you know, just metabolic processes within the body. So with amino acids, for me, I work really well with a huge salad, leafy greens. These leafy greens have a lot of protein, they have a lot of minerals, and really good at cleansing the body and taking toxins out, as well as hormones. You guys, I used to be a big dairy milk drinker by the jug, and that just really messed up with my hormones. So now I'm doing really big salads, getting in lots of juices, and really just working on getting that excess estrogen out of the body. Healthy fats, so we're looking at, you know, avocados are really good, some coconut meat, and again, you're gonna have to just kind of figure out which fats work well with you and which proteins work well with you. And the next thing is really just making some healthy lifestyle changes, reducing stress, and really just tuning into positive, uplifting people, and creating an environment that's going to support you and help you on your healing journey. And for me, what I have found is that working with people, most people know why they're sick or why they got sick. And if I were to ask you, you know, if you're not feeling good, if you start a journal and write down, like, you know, what is it that you need? What is it that you feel that you really, really need? So many of us have lost our own intuition. And, you know, now that I've cleansed out my body, I can really tune in and say, okay, what do I feel like I need right now? And back when I was really, really sick, I would ask myself, like, why am I sick? I knew when I asked myself that question, why am I sick? I knew the answer, and that was stress, an unhealthy diet and lifestyle. I was just consuming way too much animal protein, and it just really, really wasn't good for my body. So when you ask yourself, what is it that you need? What is it that makes you feel good? And keep a journal of what is it that makes you feel good, even the foods that make you feel good, that causes you really good digestion, that makes you feel your best. You know, if you start tuning in with yourself, I find most people will figure out which foods respond well with them. So just tune in with yourself. Don't necessarily follow people that are telling you to eat only these certain foods, because what I'm finding working with you guys is some people are allergic to nuts. Some people have followed other doctors by doing bone broth, and their whole mouth broke out in ulcers. So what works for one is not necessarily going to work for another person. And you don't want to keep doing bone broth if you're going to keep getting ulcers in your mouth. So for me, it's really just taking a step back, stop everything you're doing, slow down, and start really being conscious of what foods react well in your body. And don't just follow someone's protocol if it's not making you feel your best. And of course, there's going to be detox symptoms when you start eliminating a lot of these foods and start replacing them with healthier options. And that you're going to have to distinguish what's detox versus what is actually not reacting well in your body. So trust your instinct and really keep a journal. If a food is just really irritating you, then just avoid it for now. There's a whole plethora of other foods that you can enjoy, and tune in with yourself. If you know that eating a certain food is giving you bad digestion, it's making you feel sick and bloated and causing just, not so pleasant feelings, then stop that and go to a food that, resonates with you. And for me, like, I really advocate a lot of grapes, but some people might not resonate well with grapes. So you may respond better with, say, melons, say cantaloupe. So it's really kind of tuning in with yourself and really listening to what your body is telling you and working with your body to figure out which foods respond well with you, respond well with your specific needs. So this is going to be something that you're going to have to keep track of, but the first thing is kind of just taking a step back and just taking a break from digestion for a little while, and then start introducing some foods, one by one. I find mono meals really great, just starting with a mono meal, say of cantaloupe, and then if just analyzing your digestion, how you feel, and then bringing in, say, another mono meal, and that can be of grapes or mangoes, and then having a salad. You really want to kind of keep things simple as much as possible, and that's going to be better for your digestion as well. And just start working with your body and start listening to what do I feel like today? What do I feel like I need? And that's going to happen too once you start cleansing out your body. It's going to start working with you and telling you what you need. And in terms of whole foods. So we want to keep things whole foods from nature, and that's why I say to eliminate the junk food and the processed food. So there's going to be, some people are going to go through some certain cravings, and that's going to be, after you got to clean out certain residues that are left in the body from the years of eating junk food and processed foods. So what I like to say is keep it simple and just start with working with one simple meal at a time and consciously, intuitively following how that feels in your body. And I find that works well with people, is just going based on your own intuition and working with your body to find out what it needs. All right, guys, so that's my take on how to start finding what foods work well for you. I hope this video helps you out, and there's going to be a lot more healing videos to come. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, be your beautiful selves. Be getting in some nature today, and well, I'll be rising.